Oh, he's going down, baby. Oh, it's so early.
And we're doing flips! Oh my god, you suck!
Okay, guys, okay. So I promise my first impressions video will not be based on my piloting skills in this game, I swear. Gamers and gamettes, what is going on? My name is Tenek127 and welcome to my first impressions video of Battlefield 1. I apologize, mine's a little late, and like I told you guys, I know this isn't, my average Neverwinter video and stuff like that, but from time to time, like I say in my channel description, there will be, games where, I step out of my comfort zone a little bit and, talk about them just a little bit, just because, I have previous experience, with them and stuff like that. So I was, before I got heavy into Call of Duty, I was a really big Battlefield fan. I played, I started with Battlefield Bad Company 2. I'm not, like any Battlefield veteran or anything like that. I have played, Battlefield 2, Modern Combat or Modern Warfare, whichever one it was called. I did play that Battlefield, but I didn't play that, as much as I played Bad Company 2. So I honestly consider Bad Company 2 my first real Battlefield, and I played every single one from there. But this is definitely very different than the usual ones I've played, and I even played Star Wars Battlefront, and I'm mentioning that. We'll get to that point later on. So this one's very different than some of the ones I've played. So I thought I would just take a minute, touch base on you guys with this, and let you guys know what I think about this game. So Battlefield 1, let's talk about some the positives, the good things first and everything. The game is absolutely gorgeous graphically. The hit detection seemed to work pretty well. The bullet drop, is a bit I want to say a bit worse than some of the other Battlefields, only because you're using old school weaponry. So my guess is they're trying to keep it realistic. Like you can't take an assault rifle in this game and fire it at like a sniper range without like trying to prepare yourself for like a bullet arc or a bullet curve or anything like that. And to my opinion, that's honestly a good thing. That's a way to keep the gun realistic, because they didn't have the technology that we have now, especially during World War I. This is a way back time period. And another thing is there's a good variety of weapons in here too. And another thing I do like is even with this older World War I setting, they still kept it really Battlefieldish. Like there's vehicles on the field, and there's even like powered like Juggernaut bonuses on the field. Like you can get a Juggernaut version of a machine gun, a Juggernaut version of a flamethrower, and something else. There's special, like map-based vehicles to use, like the train or the I guess what's referred to as the Zeppelin. I refer to it as a blimp, and I believe there's even something that is like an old school replica of an AC-130. I can't think of the exact name of it, because like I said, guys, I'm horrible with this time period. So trust me, I don't know my terminology too well for all the stuff back then. So if I make any mistakes, like, please forgive me. In a video I did, earlier this year, talking about, if Battlefield 1 went old school, I accidentally mentioned the word musket towards World War II or World War I, and people freaked out. So if I use any wrong terminology, please forgive me on that. But the game, honestly, really isn't bad. It plays smooth. The weapons all seem really fairly balanced. I do think some of the light machine guns are ridiculously overpowered, and I also think that the Juggernauts are a little bit too strong. Now it's a Juggernaut, a heavy armored guy with a light machine gun. He's obviously supposed to destroy people in his path, but those guns that that dude has literally takes you down in 1 or 2 shots. But guessing by the bullet size that gun uses, that would probably be realistic. So maybe it's just me, but if you guys have personal feelings and comments and stuff you want to say about that, feel free to leave that here in the comments below. But honestly, Battlefield 1 overall is a really good solid Battlefield game, at least from what I played on the beta. The only thing that bothers me a little bit, game wise, and now we'll start getting into the negatives, is I feel there's a severe lack of ground vehicles in in these ones. Like I was playing it with Cast 1187, and I noticed that we had to run everywhere, and it would it would take a while for tanks to spawn, horses to spawn, and stuff like that. 90% of our time playing this game, we spent it running, and especially doing big matches of like conquest and stuff. That can be really discouraging when you run 1,000 meters just to get to the objective, and the first thing that happens to you when you get there is you get sniped in the face. That is something really discouraging. And the second complaint I have about Battlefield 1 is, and this is where a lot of people are going to jump on my case, but hear me out. I've heard a few people make the same claim, and I'm honestly making it too. It honestly feels like Battlefront. It doesn't feel like a Battlefield game to me, and that bothers me. I really feel like they took Battlefront and skinned it with a World War I setting. Like, it doesn't feel like Battlefield skinned with World War I. It feels like Battlefront skinned with World War I. I don't know how to describe it. It's just the way the characters move. The way they're controlled, the way they walk. Like, I played this and I purposely went and played Battlefront for a little bit right afterwards. And besides the loss of like aiming down certain sites in Battlefront and stuff like that, these games feel so alike that it is scary, and that bothers me. And simply because I know a lot of people wanted Battlefront to be more Battlefield-ish, and the fact that I personally think Battlefront was a little bit like Battlefield, I personally thought that was a good thing. But Battlefront sales-wise did great, but wasn't so popular for certain reasons among the community, and that honestly scares me for the game. It's not something I necessarily hate about the game. It's not something that I can't live with, but it honestly scares me for the game's reputation itself, and that is that is a big concern. But other than that, I really don't have any complaints, and I'll give you guys my get down honest opinion, so you guys know me as a person and stuff like that. Battlefield 1 isn't my type of shooter. I love it. It's an amazing game. I don't hate it. But me personally, I'm just not a fan of the old school setting. I'm one of those guys, that were spoiled by, the stuff from modern era games and and stuff like that. That's just my personal opinion. But honestly, anybody who's looking for a classic, gritty, down in the dirt FPS trench warfare, that wants to go back to the roots of shooters, this game's for you. All honesty, I would say, put your pre-order in now, because it is honestly a wonderful game, and I wouldn't recommend for anyone to miss out on an opportunity like Battlefield 1. Even if you're just a Battlefield fan, and and if you don't care for this, I would say try it. And this is a guy, that's telling you, to try it, that's not even a fan of the setting. I can't stand this setting, and I'm personally recommending for you guys to play it. That's the whole point of me, voicing my opinion. Even though I personally am not into this, I recommend for anyone who's a Battlefield fan in general to give it an honest try. Especially if you missed the beta and stuff like that. I hope you guys got around to play it. But if not, the game launches, I believe, October. I want to say October 19th, something like that. I don't know. I might have the release date wrong, so forgive me. But anyway, guys, if y'all enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And I want to thank you all so much for watching. It's your boy, Tnek127. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Peace out, guys.
Let me get it like